we don't do this like this, but we are Cat Space. I'm Cat. With me is my beloved Buckets and two of the loveliest people I know. My turn, Luna and Leon. Hello.
Hello.
Evening.
So, as I said, we don't usually do this, but this is an event like no other. Tonight, we are talking about Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Where is she? Now, we've seen all the YouTube, we've seen all the TikTok, the conspiracy theorists, and the conspiracy theories of her whereabouts. Now, she was last seen December the 25th at the Christmas Carol service. And then in January, motorcades or cars and ambulances were seen driving to the hospital. She was not seen stepping out, and she was not seen coming back out. Now, recently, papers have said, here she is. She's been seen with William in Windsor at their favorite farm fruit shop. Now, if you look at the picture, it's not her. The Mother's Day photos is her, but it was doctored. So we are taking a special deep dive into where is the Princess of Wales. Let's get started. Luna, I'll throw this one first to you, my darling. What are the royal family hiding?
Are they hiding something or is it distraction from something else? I can't tell you exactly. All I can do is speculate at the end of the day, but I will say this, they're such a famous family and well-known family. Why do this to the people that support you and follow you? Why not just come out and say what's going on and be open with it? Have an interview, a face-to-face interview. Like, what's the big deal? At the end of the day, I think they know what they're doing. I don't know exactly what they're hiding, but I assume that it's something.
Leon, good answer.
I don't know what they're hiding, but it's a bad time to be doing this. So right now, everybody, say in the not only in the UK but all around the world, look to the royals for some sort of guidance. If everything's all right, with them, they know it's going to be all right. But what's been going on lately has not been all right. I mean, the fake photos, as you said, the Mother's Day photo, even though it was them, but it was doctored so much so that it got killed off on the. I think that's I think that's actually the word that they actually used. The media, the picture media, they killed off the story because they saw it was edited. I mean, that doesn't happen. But it came from the royals, and that was absolutely ridiculous. And there's now reports that particularly another one had just come out. Obviously, the one with the shopping one, as you mentioned straight away, it does not appear to look like Kate at all. To me, it doesn't look like Kate. But also one that came out a few days ago, even though it wasn't a few days old, it may have been a year or a couple of years. A picture came out with the royal kids and the Queen, which also appears to have been doctored as well. I mean, you don't do this to the fans. When you start doing that to the fans of the royal family, you lose those fans altogether. So you can't be doing that. You need to be honest with your pictures, your statements, and everything. If you're a royal, you need to be honest, and there has not been any honesty lately with the royals, and that's
Mm,
disappointing.
Good answer. Buckets. So we've seen what's happening. We know it's not Catherine. What are the royal family hiding?
Um, Either nothing or something. I was going to make a joke, but I withdrew it because I was worried that I was going to offend people. But I was just thinking, maybe like William's media team that's in charge of all the propaganda that they spill just decided to go on holiday to Jamaica for a while and put a cursed AI picture instead. So they took out something for 2 weeks and they called it a day for 2 weeks whilst they lived it up in Jamaica. Or maybe another Commonwealth country where they could have fun. Or they were just trying to cut corners, or something actually happened. Now I've heard stories of what was the operation that she was happening?
Abdominal surgery.
Abdominal surgery. Now, here's the thing about abdominal surgery. The surgery itself would have taken 3 days to actually do, but recovering from abdominal surgery could have taken longer. It is highly plausible that Kate would have been seeing a psychiatrist about William, since they're having marriage problems. I mean, you can't just have a girl on the side and there to be no effect. So I think maybe that could be it as well. So maybe she's going through some sort of breakdown and is having to deal with the fact that she might be queen sooner or quicker than she thinks, especially since King Charles has got cancer and may be out the door quicker than he thinks. So there's all these stresses that she's got. And I think also Kate wants to always put her best foot forward at all times. So maybe that's why it has been doctored, kind of thing. I don't think she wants to see the real her or an ugly her or a tired her. So the media get hold of it and destroy that. So that's another reason why it could have been doctored. But it was just a poor doctoring job. All the kids' fingers were messed up and everything. It was just a really poor AI picture kind of thing. So they might be hiding something. It could be hiding the fact that maybe she did get hit by William. Or it could just mean that she needs counseling. Because the thing about counseling is that you don't just do one session. If you've got all this trauma behind you and stress and whatever, the minimum for counseling is about 6 weeks, not 14 days. Okay, so maybe she's seeing a therapist until she can get everything off her chest. And that's a really normal explanation. And on top of that, she wants to probably keep her story confidential, because once she goes and says to the media, oh, I'm just doing counseling, the media are going to want to know what she's talking to her counselor about, and that raises more questions and causes more stress. So that might be a reason why she's saying nothing.
Now, for me, I'm not going to make mine long-winded. All I'm going to say is 14 days. Let's wind it back. 14 days is a long stay for abdominal surgery. Sure, she could have had abdominal surgery. She could have Crohn's disease. She could have had an appendix out. Something could have happened, but 14 days, her family didn't see her. Not her mom, her dad, brother, or sister. Here's where it gets creepy. Not even her kids were allowed to see her or visit her. She was there for 14 days. Now that says to me, conspiracy theory or not, is that all the speculation and talk of William's affair with, another woman, William's affair, would be enough and suffice enough to put her in hospital. She had a mental breakdown and she needed help, because how would she cope? It's the same thing as Diana, but this is Catherine, right? All this talk of, William and a mistress, or did William beat Catherine? We don't know these things. Did he put her in the hospital? He was the only one seen visiting her except from the king. Just himself and the king were the only ones. Now, apparently, she resurfaced in her mum's car, supposedly, or allegedly, in Windsor. But the thing is, you have to ask yourself, is that Catherine or is that her sister Pippa? See, this is what's confusing. Now, where are the kids themselves? Catherine's missing. The children are missing. What is the royal family hiding? Is it the fact that she had a nervous breakdown and the institution didn't want to bother with it? Didn't want to out her? Didn't want to come forward with the truth? Too ashamed and too embarrassed to say one of their own had a breakdown? It looks bad on the institution, on the monarchy. Is the king stepping down? He's got cancer. Hope he gets better soon, but still, he's got cancer. He's 75 this year. He can't do many things. Sure, he meets Rishi Sunak and members of parliament, and he's receiving treatment. How long will it take before they tell us, hey, the king is really, really, really sick, and they tell us what type of cancer he has and how serious it is? Because to say, oh, we caught it early, I doubt it. Right? Because he went into the same hospital as Catherine and came out 2 days later. What are you hiding? Tell us the truth. Not that hard. Is it? Is it the fact that, William is trying to hide information? Is it because they don't want us knowing what's going on with her? Is it something to do with Harry behind closed doors?
I'd like to add to that. So what I'm finding actually is that people are actually siding with Harry because Kate's saying nothing and William's saying nothing. So they're slowly gravitating towards Harry because it's like Harry's giving this detailed excavate of what actually happens in the royal family. And he's never had this popularity before. In fact, it's almost like the press have completely left him alone. And they're starting to believe that, you know what, maybe William isn't as nice as everyone thought he was.
While you were on the subject of the king, by the way, there was reports earlier on today that the king had died, but that was shot down immediately. The king is still alive. King Charles is still alive, despite the fact that he has cancer, as you said. Russian media decided to put out that the King Charles had died from cancer, age 79, age 75, I should say, but that was shot down by the palace immediately. So whoever thought that was a good idea to start spelling that rumors is a sick bastard.
Exactly.
It's propaganda.
Now, look at it this way, right? God forbid, had the king passed, BBC and all news channels would have to change into black immediately. They would have all their black attire behind the scenes ready and waiting every day for them.
And also, the BBC would be the first to report it. It's always been the way, I don't know why, but it's always been that way in the UK, well, since, well, quite frankly, a very long time. If there is a royal death, then the BBC is the first to call it.
But here's the thing, guys. Look at it this way. There's been motorcades going left, right, and center every day in London on TikTok. There's been helicopters. There's even the flag when the king's home in Buckingham Palace. There's 2 flags. It's not the Union Jack. It's what is it? I think Buckingham Palace's flag. But yesterday on TikTok, I noticed Buckingham Palace had the Union Jack. Why is there a Union Jack? Something is very eerie going on, and I don't like this one bit.
Yeah, it's almost like they decided to have a parade without a reason. Like normally there's some sort of reason, like there's a coronation or there's a drooping of the colors, drooping of the colors, and there's some sort of promotion, like someone's been awarded something or something like that. But the horses were just going round and round and round.
So that was actually, they actually came out and said that they were practicing, they were teaching new recruits. And that's why they were coming out and they had to do it in full attire. It was like a, whatever, I don't know how truthful that is, but that's what was said.
But why were they seen galloping from like where they were right up the mall heading towards Buckingham Palace, then doing a U-E, coming back down, then doing U-E again? They were going up and down.
Yeah, this wasn't like 5 minutes. They were doing this for like
a good few hours.
You know, they did it overnight. Actually, it was like an adrenaline run, basically.
I'm assuming they were practicing for something, some sort of long endurance. I don't know exactly, but that's what I'm assuming right now.
Let's go to the second question. Luna, I'll start with you again. Why are the media or people on TikTok acting like sleuths? You know what sleuths is?
Yeah. Look, she's a popular person. At the end of the day, people, I feel like people are coming out of the framework right now. There's so many even Americans making content on this, and I'm just thinking, like, do they even care about the royal? I don't know how it works over there, really. At the end of the day, it's the mystery of it. People love a good conspiracy. People love a good mystery. And if you sell that to someone, it can become the greatest distraction to the public at the end of the day. I don't know why, again, I don't know why they're doing this. But yes, it is bringing this loose out, and they're doing exactly what they want them to do. They're talking about it, and they're making sure that other people are listening and talking about it at the end of the day. And they could, like I said, they could come out and clear everything up. They're not. But yes, it definitely is. And people are profiting off this. People are taking it, they're going to take it far, I believe. Especially the conspiracy theorists. There's some real field days out there right now. I tell you, there's some real funny videos if you go and have a look. But yeah, they are taking it very far.
Good answer, Leon. Why are the media or people on TikTok acting like they're sleuths?
Well, media, this is not a new phenomenon. They've been doing this for years. They've been snipping through people's garbage to try and get a story for years. Most of it is just crap. It is just utter crap and garbage. It drives me crazy that, you know, there's so many royal news reports. I zone I what's the word? I zone out. I tune out. I tune out to, say, media outlets like news.com.au or even Sky News' own Twitter or whatever. There's always a royal story here. There's a royal story there. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't believe it. If there's gossip columnists and stuff like that, don't buy it and don't believe it, because it's just made up garbage. It's been happening for too long. I think the media are over the top. A lot of the times they're just over the top, and most of the stories are just BS. They're just trying to clickbait. I guess they're trying to clickbait people, and unfortunately, it works. And especially now we've got this AI stuff around. It's more. It's, to be honest, it's actually more effective. But um, I hate it. I don't like the media being sleuths. They're not sleuths. They're not detectives. They're not Dick Tracy. They're just morons. I hate it. I really don't like it at all. I think they're trying to find us. They're trying to chase a kitten up a tree. That's what they're looking. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to chase a kitten up a tree. There's no kitten up a tree. There's no news unless you hear it from the source themselves, the one person's at account. It's gossip. Don't believe it.
Excuse me. I just love the fact that you use that example, a kitten up the tree, because these people are more than happy to call the entire fire brigade to get one cat to get the kitten up the tree. I think it's
Now,
funny.
Hey,
So-
look, there's an octopus on the roof. Somebody get a news outlet.
Yeah.
All right, buckets. Let's get back to it. Why are the media acting like sleuths?
Because it's a slow news day. And you know what? It's so hard to convict Kate of anything because she's so pure. It's not like William, because William's already had an affair, and William's just trying to basically divert the attention away from his sidelined girlfriend. But it's very hard to point something on Kate. So instead of saying Kate is guilty of A, B, and C, they've literally just said, Kate is, where is Kate? We don't know where Kate is. Is Kate dead? Is she still alive? Is she in another part of the world? What isn't the royal family telling us about Kate? And she could just be resting up from the surgery. It could be just something as simple, or she just probably just wants to spend time with her children.
She would have to be resting, because after an abdominal surgery, it takes roughly 2 to 3 months to fully recover.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I never bought it from day one.
But it would make sense if it was abdominal surgery. I mean, the surgery itself doesn't take that long to fix, but you could get completely drained and lethargic. It is not out of the scope of the medical field. So if you just want to sleep for 2, maybe 3 months just to get your energy back, as if it was glandular fever, it would actually make a lot of sense. And it is actually a feasible reason why Kate's not speaking, because she just doesn't want to, because she's too tired.
But the thing is, she was recently seen out with William and Windsor at their favorite farm fruit shop. Now,
But was she?
but was she? Supposedly the shopkeeper said she looked healthy and happy and they looked so in love. Now come on. No one took a photo.
Yeah, but
no one's gonna video.
Apparently, she's been spotted today walking through a park or some nonsense along those lines. I read.
Can I say something? Of course, the shopkeeper who owns a fruit shop is going to say, yes, Kate is
She went to that
healthy.
place only, and that's it. And then
Right.
she left.
And
No one else saw her.
right, and she's happy enough, because you can't say, oh yeah, she looked totally unhealthy when she walked into my fruit shop. You'd be out of business in 10 minutes.
Then I didn't even get to answer the question.
Sorry, go on.
Now, for me, why are the media being sleazy? People on TikTok. Luna mentioned something really smart here, smart cookie. That why would Americans take time out of their busy days to do content like this? Americans don't care about some Americans do, but the rest of America doesn't, because they're now involved in their federal election. But thing is, Americans are making content, lots of it. And I think I know why. It's because since Harry married her, who shall remain nameless, she now is when he married her, she's the reason people are talking about the royal family, and she's got her people, right? So Americans making content, it's alarming. Like, it's funny, but it's alarming. Like, where's Catherine? Why has no one seen her? And then we all hear, oh, she was out on a stroll with William and Windsor at their favorite fruit farm. Surely someone hiding in the bushes, or someone out there, a drone would have taken a picture, even a drone, of her coming out of the shop. Luna said, oh, she was seen walking in a park. Was there a photo? Probably not.
I
Sure,
don't remember. I don't remember if there was a photo that accompanied it. I think there was, but who knows if there are moments that were captured before and then edited in.
But thing is, right, sure, she has a right to her privacy. She's just come out of hospital. But if she's walking in a park in public in broad daylight, here's an opportunity for William and for the royal family in Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace to say, here you go. She's alive and well. She's healthy and happy. Now back off.
Question, where was security when she went into that fruit shop?
Yeah.
Here's another thing for you, right? After you've had abdominal surgery, you're not supposed to lift up anything more than 2 kilos for several months while you recover.
But apparently she looks healthy and happy.
Yeah, and apparently that looks like it's more than 1 or 2 kilos to me, whatever the shopping is.
Like, sure.
And I do shopping, so I kind of know.
So as I was going to say is that, surely if she's walking around the park, someone out of some random person would have seen her, got their phone out secretly without her noticing, and clicked the photo, or at least did a 30-second video of her. We want to know, where is Catherine? Why are there so many people who look like her out and about? What are you trying to prove to us?
Yeah, but like, her hairstyle is pretty common, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's not like, okay, so the Queen's hairstyle, for example, was pretty uncommon. And she had her own certain kind of style, and everyone knew who she was, whatever. But Catherine's style is actually very, very common. And even her behavior is still very, very common, as she's like a common woman, even though she's going to be the Queen of England one day. So, I mean, that, to be honest, that could be anyone.
Yeah.
It could be anyone doing the shopping and then coming home to her children. And one question is, if she's now an official princess, wouldn't they get the servants to do all the shopping instead of her? Why is she doing the shopping? That makes no sense to me.
Like, I guess I've seen her like before all this happened, like last year. You'd see William going out shopping, or Catherine in normal clothes with a trolley, buying shopping for their kids. Sure, the kids are currently on school holidays over there, so yeah, maybe she doesn't want to be seen because she wants to spend time with her kids. But at the same time, for goodness sakes, the game has to end. Let us know where she is, please. The whole world's going crazy. It's Cake Gate. You can say more.
Kate, I like that.
All right, next question, Lou. Why would remember that photo of Mother's Day?
Hmm.
Why would Catherine write an apology about the photo in the first place?
She wouldn't.
Exactly.
Her management team would obviously write something on her behalf, and who knows if she even approved it or not. All I know is that all of her social media type of stuff is handled by a management team. Of course it is. She's got phones encrypted upon encryption to keep her safe. Why on earth would they give her access to freely post a photo on, I'm not sure what platform it was posted on. At the end of the day, those type of things go through people. Like, I don't know if maybe these new royals are just doing stuff they want to do themselves and not understanding there's going to be these weird consequences, or at the end of the day, there's a bad management team going on. But yeah, she wouldn't have posted. She wouldn't have even said that. Someone would have posted that photo, and then the whole world would have started going crazy, obviously. And then obviously she's gone and said, well, you have to fix this now. So they've gone and posted that on her behalf to make it look like, oh, she controls her own social media. She's down to earth. She's connected. No, come on. We're not all silly. We all know that she probably doesn't even have a personal phone.
Or a Facebook.
But apparently
Yeah.
she has taken photos of her kids before and published it. She has actually taken.
I would assume that she would have a phone, yes, and she knows how to use a phone. She grew up with technology, at the end of the day, but maybe sometimes she'll have to get the phone, take a few photos, and then the phone goes straight back into her personal assistant's pocket. It wouldn't stay on her. And then also she would then say to her personal assistant, hey, can you go and post that photo of me and my family on social media for the world to see? And they would say, okay, sure. And then they would go and do it. So whoever posted that photo obviously didn't say something. I don't know if she was involved in the making of that AI photo, digitally manipulated photograph. I'm going to say this. I think the whole thing was AI. AI has a very certain feel to it. I can't explain it. And I've studied a lot of, I joined a lot of those groups that are, is it AI or is it real? And people really do try and put it to the test, but there's always a tell. There's always something really weird about it. And that photo had it 100%, like it had it really badly. So yeah, I personally think the whole thing was AI, and for whatever reason, it was posted to keep face, which why would you do that and cause more controversy? I don't know, but yeah, I don't think she personally apologized for putting that image out in a way. And I'm human, we all make mistakes with editing. No, you didn't, you weren't even near the computer, don't lie. You told someone, make an AI photo of my family and post it, and that's what happened. That's what I believe happened anyway.
You notice that it's always AR that screws up the fingers or the hands.
It can't get the hand very well.
It can't seem to get the hands right. It can deal with Simpsons photos because Simpsons photos basically have 4 fingers and they're nice and balanced. But human hands, they're not very good with that for some reason.
Human hands.
Leon, why would Catherine write an apology for a photo that she never took?
I think it's definitely one of her media people that put that apology out, because it was so obvious that this was a blunder. um, it was so obvious that somebody had screwed up and thought it was a good idea just to publish the picture anyway. It it was a it was a shocker. It was an absolute shocker. And I think Luna's right. You know, AI has been doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with AI, but they can't. There's always something that gets messed up somewhere along somewhere along the line with AI. Like it could be, like as you said, could be fingers. It could be a fabric. You know, something slightly gets messed up. AI is not perfect by any means, but it can give you a good, a fairly decent picture or whatever. I mean, but it's just not that good. It's not that good when it comes to these kind of pictures. I definitely believe that it would have been her media team that had to post that apology. I couldn't see because Catherine wouldn't. I don't know if she would have. I think she maybe may have told her management or whatever to put an apology out there or something like that. But it was a bad decision to even post that to begin with, and the fact that it took them over 24 hours to say, I'm sorry that this happened. We didn't mean to scare people. Well, what you did is not only did you scare people, because we know that the royals are going through hell at the moment, obviously with King Charles's cancer at the moment, and also Catherine's abdominal surgery. You didn't do it. If you were hoping that an apology would make this blow away, it's not. It didn't. And now the world is watching you like a hawk now. And with the Mother's Day picture, now we're going through previous pictures like a hawk now to see if they're not fabricated. And obviously the most recent picture of quote unquote Kate and William outside of a fruit shop, which I don't believe is real either, despite the fact, some outlets saying that it is, some others say that it's not. And the fact that, and the reports that William's unhappy now because the media are staying on this, well, there's one way that you can get them off your back, and that is to come forward on TV or even on a video or whatever, an actual video, say, look, I'm sorry that this has happened. Look, I'm William, I'm whatever, I'm Catherine or whatever. I do apologize and I'm sorry that this is going on. And it would it more than likely just blow away. But the fact that they're not seems to me that there's something else going on here.
Buckets, can I ask you? Why would Catherine write an apology for a photo she never even took? I mean, look at it this way. They've all been speculating William took that photo, then
I think it's just look, there's a couple of ways we can take this. One, Kate is trying to protect her husband. That is highly plausible, especially if she's got like Stockholm syndrome, or she's joined a royal family, so she doesn't want to harm the family. Like she doesn't want to do another Harry. So it sounds like she wants to be loyal to the family by protecting William. And the English public are quite skeptical of that. The other thing it could be is someone from media really screwed up. Or the other side thing was William, being regent, only allowed Harry to stay in the country for 40 minutes when Harry wanted to see his father whilst he had cancer. And even though Charles said stay in the country for 1 or 2 weeks or whatever before you go home, it was William that basically said, no, you can only stay for 40 minutes, and then after that you're getting on a plane and leaving the country. So put all those things together, stack them up, they're just going to demonize William because they feel that he's acting like a real prat. And also sleeping with someone else whilst your wife is in hospital, okay, and still continuing to sleep with said person.
but we don't know that. So
Well, there's enough evidence to back it up.
no, it's alleged. But the thing is,
No, but I just wanted to finish my point, is the fact that if the English public believe that, and they're believing that Harry is not William is not the royal that they believed him to be. So it sounds like they want to protect Kate with everything that she's worth, but they're not prepared to protect William because they think he's a spoilt brat that's been pampered his whole life. And I think that's the real crux of the situation, which is we've never questioned William before. Let's start questioning him. It's his turn.
Like, I have to refer to Harry where he's mentioned that his brother does have a temper. He gets super angry super fast. But he did attack his little brother, threw him down the dog bowl, and the bowl cracked on his back and made his back bleed. And he broke his little brother's necklace. Now, here's what I see is that William is going to be king, whether we all like it or not. William has forgotten what his mother taught him. He's forgotten what his mother told him. I think his mother would be very disappointed in the both of them, not just one or the other. I think Princess Diana would be devastated that her eldest son is refusing, and I say that loudly, refusing to make up with his little brother, to put differences aside and just unite as brothers. Because in the end, even though he has his wife and children, he's going to need Harry more than Harry will ever need him. When he becomes king, he's going to need his help. Now, I think that William took the photo. William needs to be held accountable. Because in that photo, if you see Prince Louis's hands, he's crossing his fingers. Charlotte is crossing her fingers. Why is that? Like, is it meant to look distorted, or why are they crossing their fingers? Do they all know something we don't? Because that's got me thinking, why are they crossing their fingers?
It's a doctored photo. It's meant to. I don't think it's a real photo. In fact, a lot of people think that the chair isn't actually a real chair. It's actually a wheelchair.
I've even thought that too, because it looks like a normal brown chair. But if you notice the way she's sitting, it looks like she's actually sitting in a wheelchair. But they've disguised it as a chair. Again, photoshopped the chair into the wheelchair so it doesn't look that drastic. You can tell it looks like a wheelchair.
Yeah, the way she's sitting is very, very awkward. It almost does, like you said, it almost certainly looks like it's a wheelchair. That picture with Kate and also the kids, it definitely looks like a wheelchair for sure, because you don't sit at that kind of angle looking straight without it being a wheelchair.
And there's shadows that are there that shouldn't actually be there, which is actually quite mysterious. It's almost like they've gotten rid of the wheels, but they forgot to get rid of the shadows, which is also a key sign.
Like, if you have a look at the chair they're sitting on, or she's sitting on with her kids, Prince Louis is covering up one half of the chair. And in that one half, you could see there's like a stainless steel sort of wheel or silver wheel hiding. And you can tell that's clearly a wheelchair because you can slightly see the silver.
This is a very good theory as to why she would, or why her management team would use AI in the first place. This is a very good theory with a lot of evidence that could support it, I reckon. At the end of the day, she had surgery. She's recovering. She's at home. Yeah.
Even look, if she did have abdominal surgery, I mean, surely, you know, people saying, "Oh, it's none of our business to know what's wrong with her and her medical condition." It's true, her medical condition has nothing to do with us. It's not our
except if William is abusing her, and then she's a domestic violence victim, and that means that William has broken the law. And even though he will be the king of England, right,
and the Commonwealth
in the future, he still has to obey the law. And I don't think that any Commonwealth country wants to have a monarch that is actively breaking the law. So this sort of behavior, because you remember William, when Charles dies, God forbid, William will be the head of the Anglican Church.
Mm.
So if he's going to be teaching people, I can do whatever I want because I'm the head of the church. All these once Commonwealth countries will just turn Republican because they won't want a leader like that in their vision.
Well, what we're talking about, William's anger, allegedly, if he has, as you have said, Phil, if he has, then no country is going to want to associate themselves with the royal family. None. I could imagine, even though we had our little plebiscite here in Australia back in the late 90s or whatever, should Australia become a republic, and that was voted down, because we saw William as the possible future, stability in the royal family and the stability that the monarch needs. But if that is true, then there's people who will want that plebiscite back or whatever. Should we become a republic, or should we stay monarch? Those people are going to change. Those people are going to flip. Those people are going to go republic, because if this is true, then we've got no other royal to look up to, no other royal, and it would go republic. I have no doubt about that.
Speaking of William, here's the next question, right? And I'm going to throw this to Luna. Due to William's anger, and we all know Prince William has an anger, why are the royals hiding? Like, you don't see Prince Edward or Sophie. You don't see Prince Anne. You don't see Princess Eugenie and Beatrice. You don't see you don't see anybody. It's like all of a sudden, it's like there's no royal family members.
So, sorry, what's this in relation to William's anger? Can you read the question back one more time?
Due to William's anger, why are the royals in hiding?
All right. I don't know if it's due to William's anger. I do think that the royals are going through a time of transition right now. Since Elizabeth has passed away, things just haven't felt balanced and right. She had a certain glue-like quality to her personality that seemed, old school enough to fit in with all of this. I would assume that a lot of them are trying to stay out of the spotlight. At the end of the day, they have their personal lives. We all know that, especially William has a past. He used to like to go and party. The media and the people around him have always kept him well protected enough in those cases. There have been some times where things have slipped for him and Harry. But I would assume they're going about their personal life. They'd be focused on their real duties, of course, but I reckon that they're more preparing. Number one, they're coaching, Charles kind of through it at the moment, and he's also going through a health battle. And then when it comes to William, they're preparing him for the future. And there will be little snakes in his ear and there'll be good guys in his ear too. But at the end of the day, there'll be a lot of people in his ear saying, be like this, do that. You're the next king. You don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about that. You're the next king. Anything that you need is what you get. We need to have you stress-free. You need to be as stress-free in your mind. They probably do the same thing for Charles. They probably do that for all the next successors as well. At the end of the day, I think they're hiding because they're going through a transition and they don't know how to present that to the public just yet. At the same time, we're in an age where they know how social media things can spread like wildfire, and they're trying to keep their privacy. That's my assumption.
Like you said something so poignant and important there, which is Queen Elizabeth II, our late Majesty the Queen, was the glue to the entire family. Now, I know it's going to sound corny or weird, but let's look at the royal family as a deck of cards. Queen Elizabeth was at the top, and they were just beneath her. They were all in perfect formation. Everyone was in sync. Now that she's died, the top deck of the top deck, it's like you're building a pyramid and one falls. The rest are just going to shake and they're going to fall off.
And they have fallen. I mean, all you have to do is look at Prince Andrew. He's a fallen one. Harry
He's a
fallen.
fallen.
Where there's also other royals that have gone through depression. That's another one. And now William and Kate are falling, and they're at the top of the tree. So yeah, it's becoming, this once very stable family is becoming unstable. And if they keep with this instability, they all will fall.
And you're thinking Charles is holding his family together. I think since our queen died, King Charles, he's going to have the shortest reign. But King Charles isn't exactly helping his family, because King Charles, as much as we all love him and want him to get better, he's not exactly on the same bandwagon of, let's look at this story, right? I'll get to you in a second, and I do apologize, but why would Harry get on a jet plane, fly 28 hours, get to England, and only be allowed 30 to 45 minutes with his father, and then his father goes to Clarence's house for treatment? I mean, why? Did he not want to talk to his son? Does he not acknowledge his son?
No, it was because William ordered him as regent to go back home to the United States because he didn't make him feel welcome. King Charles wanted him to stay longer.
I don't think so.
William wanted him to go home because
I
they
don't
have a
think so.
sibling rivalry.
I don't think so, because from what we've always known is that William, and this is way before Harry's wife, William has always been jealous of Harry. One, Invictus is so successful that William got jealous over that, right? Like, I know he's got Earthshot, but
No one
I
cares.
think no one cares about that, right? But the thing is, as Harry said, it's a competition between him and his beloved brother, right?
I don't even know what Earthshot is. What is Earthshot, Kat?
It's a bunch of companies, young companies, coming together to have a solution to save the planet. Anyways, that's
So
what
Captain Planet, effectively. That's what that is.
Wouldn't say that, they get an award. So Leon, due to William's anger, why are the royals hiding or in hiding?
I think Luna did said it perfectly. I think the royal family is in a stage of transition. I would have never thought of that line, but that is I think that is the best line I think I've ever heard, because I'm not trying to suck up or nothing like that. I'm just serious. I think that's probably the best word, because in their lives they have never had to deal with, transitioning from queen to king. And this is the first time that it's happened in 70 something years. Um, so I believe, and Luna's right. They don't know how to deal with this situation. I think it's the state of transition, which is the great line. I think William's angry at the moment because William's angry at the moment because the media is focused on Princess Catherine, and it's frustrating him. But the fact that we look up to, say, William as the token royal who we believe could lead the monarch in the future when King Charles is no longer with us. God hopes God hope that he sticks around for a bit longer, considering he had to wait 70 something years to be the king or whatever. But I think he's angry at the moment. He's angry with the media at the moment because they're now coming after Catherine the same way that the media have been going after Harry and also Meghan. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
This is something that I reckon Harry and William could bond over, their hatred towards the media. And if both those guys hate the media, they could get on the same page and they could really shake up the media industry. But I think that's the reason for William's anger at the moment. And Luna was right. Why are the royals in hiding? I don't think they are in hiding. I think they're trying to figure out how to address the royal transition.
Mm,
That's what I believe.
good answer.
And also, and I kid you not, like while we were talking about that, because I'm watching Sky UK, uh, while we were talking about that, you wouldn't believe the segment that just came up on the screen was that recent picture of William and Kate at that fruit shop, which that farm shop, which isn't that far away from where they live.
I don't think it's her. Buckets, do you believe that they are in hiding because they're transitioning? They're finding it hard to transition from queen to king?
Well, I mean, possibly, but I also know that this is probably the first time that Harry, for a long time, hasn't had any major media attention. And so maybe William doesn't wish to annoy the media or have anything too controversial at the moment, because for both Meghan and Harry, this is the piece that they've been asking for ages. William has had nothing but peace up to this point. So William has always been protected, and he's often weaponized his media to go after Harry, and Meghan, and finally, he gets some sort of karma, and he's really annoyed about it because he's never had this attention before. He's always been in a good light. He's always been the knight in shining armor. This is the first time where he has been seen as the bad guy, and he hates it, and he didn't expect it to even happen to him because he thought he was the one that calls the shots. So I think maybe he's not used to this. He has to understand what's going on. He's had bad press before, and he's always kind of hated the press for getting involved with his family and not having any privacy, and that's very real for him. But I don't think it's ever been this bad, and I think they've always supported William up until now. Everything else has just been this one big censorship game where they have protected William and not Harry.
Have you noticed how Piers Morgan went from being, a huge royal family enthusiast, you know, defending the royal family, defending members of the royal family, and now he's done about a 360 where now he's upset because he feels like he's upset at William because William's not telling the world what's going on, and Piers Morgan is like, well, we want to know where Catherine is. Why aren't you saying something? You should be saying something. Why is the royal family speaking up? And this is someone who was a knight in shining armor for the royal family. He made them look good, and he made them smell good too. He made them appear really warm and very welcoming, and a proper family. And now he's like, well, no, we all know there's something going on. Why aren't you telling us exactly what that something is? And when are you going to tell us? Because we know there's more to that to Kate. We feel like there's more, but you're not letting us in.
Well, the most recent post that Piers Morgan has actually mentioned was regarding the picture with Harry and Meghan, which you don't believe is true, at this farm shop. Now, Piers Morgan
You
has
mean William and
posted.
Catherine?
Yeah, sorry, Catherine. Yeah, Catherine. Um, Nobody on here believes it's them, so the conspiracy theories have increased. That was the last thing that he actually tweeted about that. He looks like he obviously believes that this is legit because one of his earlier posts is great to see Kate laughing and joking with William on their shopping trips. She obviously is recovering well. This should end a lot of the conspiracy theories. Unfortunately, it's not because a lot of people still believe that this is not a legit picture. Now, I have since seen a wider shot of the picture that you guys would have seen, only this little snapshot, which I could send to you guys, but I'm actually having second thoughts about whether or not that is a doctored picture. I'm starting to lean towards it being a legitimate picture. because I've seen the wider angle of it. I've seen the wider shot of it. And the picture doesn't match what the media is reporting. So I'm starting to think that the picture is legitimate. I'll send
Okay.
you guys a picture during the next set of answers.
Last question, here we go. Should William and the royal family come clean, tell the world and the public what is really going on?
I think we've all answered that question. in
Yeah, I
more
think
detail.
so.
The answer is obviously yes. But I think this is a media circus,
Mm.
and I think this is honestly bigger than it needs to be. And I think honestly, what's going on is pretty normal, and everyone just wants to get some peace and quiet and some proper rest. I don't think this needs to be bigger than it needs to be, and I don't think we should waste any more time on it because it's a slow news day and they're trying to pick every single detail from it. And to be honest, like this is you can add conspiracy theories to this, but I think people just kind of need to accept the truth that she had abdominal surgery. She needs to recover. She needs to sleep just like normal people, and she'll be right as rain in a few months' time.
Because they're saying that she's not due to come back until after Easter.
Well, that would make sense because she's recovering, right?
I don't know. I feel like
And she would have servants to take care of the children. So that's all good and well. And they could visit her while she's in bed. So, and Kate has had problems before, when she's had, when she's birthed children. So this isn't out of the scope of reality. This is pretty normal. I just think it's being blown out of proportion.
Mm.
That's my answer to it. If anyone would like to add anything else to that, they're more than welcome to.
I think it's just time, that something's either said or we just leave it alone. Exactly. They'll
Mm.
come out with it when they're ready to come out with it. And at the end of the day, their personal life is none of our business.
Exactly.
Truly not. Even if they're celebrities, doesn't matter if they put their life out there for their fame or their royals or their sports figures or their singers, whatever. In their personal matters, they deserve to have privacy at the end of the day.
Mm.
And we're all, at the end of the day, of course we want to know what's going on, but we are being sticky beaks.
And also, just for the record, guys, I have now posted the picture to all of us guys, right? All of you guys. Now, the picture that the media reported was a picture of William, looking down, hidden in shadows, deep in shadows. The picture that I have sent to you really contradicts that narrative that was sent around.
That's not her.
There you go. So anyway,
Sorry.
look, anyway, you guys do whatever you want with that picture. That's the picture that came out of Sky News. That's a picture that also came out of the Sun in the UK.
If that is her, she's definitely had some cosmetic surgery on her cheeks.
She's cut off all her hair if that's her, but that's definitely Rose.
No, she has her hair tied. But
Anyway.
the thing is,
That's not her.
if that is her, she's had fillers. She's definitely had cheek implants.
Guys,
Yeah.
again, it's the whole Britney's wedding controversy. Like, they are multi-millionaires. I don't know, maybe so far as billionaires. I don't know how much what they have in their stock at the end of the day. What kind of camera is that?
I couldn't
And
tell
why
you
is
what
that the
type of
picture?
camera.
That's
All
a cheap
these
camera.
paps that follow her have those big cameras. Remember when they captured them on the island from like 500,000 million kilometers away?
Yeah, it's
with that
practically a
big
sniper
lens?
shot. That's what that is.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
crap.
And that's the camera they use to get a photo?
That's terrible. That's the worst.
Anyway.
That is like a $2 camera there. That's like practically like a disposable
Can
camera.
I?
It's like an old Nokia.
That's William. That is legit William, but that's not Kate with him because that's not her smile. First of all,
Honestly, the only thing legit about this is the freaking
It
weather.
looks like Kate's, maybe cousin, something like.
The only thing legit about this, honestly, is the weather because the weather is crap. That's
I honestly think
that's not the nose. That's not her nose.
that's not her face. Period. Sorry.
Look, maybe she had some work done on her face. Who knows? Maybe she was
Probably.
getting.
But why would you make yourself uglier?
Maybe because she's preparing.
Philip, you can barely see that photo. Don't you dare say that she's ugly, okay? I don't care
No,
if her nose.
no,
I
I'm
don't
just
care if her
saying-
nose is falling off. You're
I-
gonna say she's the most beautiful
I'm
person in
just
the
saying,
world.
Kate is gorgeous, right? So why would you get plastic surgery to make yourself worse?
Maybe she had something. Maybe she had a skin cancer on her nose that she got removed, and she wanted to get the scar covered up with some plastic surgery. You
And
never
they
know.
called it abdominal surgery instead.
Possibly.
I don't know.
But anyways, thank you so much for joining us on tonight's episode of Where is Catherine, the Princess of Wales? Is she okay? Has she been seen? Is it all doctored? Is it all fake? Is it all real? We don't know. Please let us know in the comments below. Thank you to the newest of subscribers, current subscribers and viewers. Please tell your friends to subscribe to our page. Let us know in the comments below. Hit the like button. Hit the bell because they'll allow us to get more content out to you. We will be back next week. We've got a fresh podcast coming your way. We'll be looking at actually our next topic we're looking at is a whole another world. That will be a whole another day. Until then, thank you for joining us. Peace, love, and light wherever you are. Stay cool, stay pumped, and thank you for joining us. Until next week. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.